And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this.
Esther, it's a great book. She entered into this goofy beauty pageant that probably wasn't all the way pure. Probably. Certainly her motives weren't, because she's human like us. Who's gotten into something? I don't know how I got into this. Well, I can kind of look back. Well, I know 3 ways I got into it. I can't take it back. I'm here. He's got me right here. Somebody's not in the ideal job, but you're here. Who's royalty? And if you're chosen, who knows they're chosen? Who's chosen in here? Chosen to be his witnesses, his servant. He loves you. You're an heir to the throne. You're a brother or sister of Christ. You're royalty. Not just Esther. She was called Queen Esther. I don't get called king much, or prince. But you are. You're a brother of the king. That makes you a prince or princess. You're royalty, and you've been given today. How did we get here? I don't know. With some good decisions, some bad decisions, with some goofy motives, with some pure motives. I've never had a 100% pure motive, actually. So if you've had a perfectly pure motive, you're ahead. But whichever way God got you here, you're his, you're chosen, you're royalty, and today is the day to be his. Then we'll see what he does with the next day. And it's graphed like this. My gifts to the needs of the world. I have some gifts. We're going to cover that in a minute. To the needs of the world and life enablers. Next week, we're going to cover needs of the world. This week, we're covering, and then the next week, life enablers. What about me? We're actually going to cover that. It's not the best question, but it's not a bad question. But now, my gifts. Let's look into it. What makes you unique? Anybody? Something unique about you. Or if you know somebody else in here, you want to say something unique about them, that'd be fine too.
Our DNA.
Oh, yeah. All of it. The combination. Crazy. What are your gifts?
There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work.
Made different ways. We're going to leave today, if nothing else, having you encouraged about your gifts more to deploy them. You can thank for God for them every morning. What are you using right now? He gave me this. If I have it, it's been given to me. The Spirit is alive in me. Who sometimes struggles with that. Spirit, help me. He's in you. He's given you this gift. Okay, those are good ones. We're going to look at something that's probably, it might not be 3% of your gift set. Okay, so I'm not saying this is the all be all. I'm saying it's useful because it's something we can name and claim, and you need to be able to name and claim things. But there's 6 types of working genius. There are 6 types of working genius. Wonder, what's possible. Invention, ideas. Some of you are both of those things. We're going to see it in a minute. But that's the phase of ideation in all work, whether it's building or digital marketing, or even looking at how we got here. Discernment, is it aligned with what we're supposed to be doing? You've got to do that today. So you have this ideation or brainstorming phase, no bad ideas, but now we got to see if they align with our work. They align with what we're doing for the client. They align with what's right. Pricing, is this who we are? Does it fit us from our values? Galvanizing is let's go, let's get it done. Let's encourage others. Enablement is I can uniquely see the needs of others. You got a bunch of you in here that way. And tenacity. Finish, finish, finish. The great retired Nick Saban is all process. So you got a great Steve Jobs, big and high, wondering things. One of the best CEOs of our time. And then you got 50,000 feet, head in the air, and then galvanizes people to do it. We got a couple of you like him. And then we got Nick Saban, who takes it all down the bottom, probably a DT, and says, it all works for process. That goofball Kiffin, he's got wonder and invention. We'll just have them all work for process. It'll work. We'll put him in there. So he reorders the gifts. That's what, in the deep dive on this, those of you who hadn't done this, I'll help you understand how to use your own and even your frustrations. The theme of all this, that Lencioni says, is that everybody has 2 things that give them great joy and 2 things that give them great frustration. Okay? Yours is DI. We'll show it. Okay.
Always been fascinated with work, and that's
why I'm talking about this. Because I believe, and this is why I'm so excited today, I believe that if we can help people find energy and joy in their work, it's gonna change their lives, their families, and society. I really do. And this book, The 6 Types of Working Genius that we're gonna talk about today, I can't believe the impact we're seeing it have on people's lives, on their companies, on their teams, on their families, and on their marriages. I'm excited to share those things with you today.
Who's found out they're good at something at work and then was able to take it home? Or take it to another part of their life? Yeah. So you're made the same way all the time. He argues, and we're about to mash something up. Simon Sinek in The Why, who's seen that, most watched of all TED Talks, How Great Leaders Inspire Action, but watched over like 12 million times just the main view. And that doesn't count all the cut-up versions. So, but they're both saying that you're made this way from the very beginning. God says you're made. He says He made and formed you in His womb, in your mother's womb. So you're all made this way, and we're about to mash this up so you can name and claim something, okay? Here's an example. Discernment and galvanizing. This is what I am. Anybody else this? I think we have one more of those in here. An instinctive and confident decision maker, able to assess situations quickly and accurately and marshal people to act. Now, I've only known this about myself for about 16 months. I'm just using myself for a case. And then yet, look at this. Look at the mission of the center, which was written a little less than 4 years ago. 2.5 years before Working Genius. We help leaders define reality and offer hope through the truth of God's Word applied to everyday life and work with the goal of transforming lives as we lead our families, organizations, and this great city. Define reality and offer hope. Discern and galvanize. You see how it's in there? I see this, and actually I was working with Mike on something. I said, look at his. He's allowed us to do this. But it's like, wait a minute. This is exactly how it's made. I've always done everything this way. How do we sell at Wonderman? We do an analysis pre-client, pre-pitch. We'd see what was not great about it. We'd see what was great about it, and then we'd give them ideas. We'd define reality, and then we'd say, the bad news is, this one didn't work out so well for us, is you're wasting $3 million on your marketing because you don't say the word sweatshirt ever. All you say is hoodie. And if you just say sweatshirt sometimes in the copy way low, you don't have to change the brand. You don't have to call it a sweatshirt, but if you just also optimize your organic search for sweatshirt equally, you'd either save $3 million in marketing or sell $12 million more in hoodies. You pick. But that you define reality, offer hope, all that's true. So that's how it's, I look all the way back to my childhood, so that I did an analysis of everything. I always had to get to reality, and the way I coach people and the way I help people, and if I'm unaligned with somebody, it's because we're not talking about the same thing. And in my mistakes, again, you err in this way too, everybody. So I err, and you need to over-align. Daniel, we got to be talking about the same thing if we're going to move forward. Okay? When somebody comes to my office and they know their reality, we can move to hope faster, right? So you're going to make mistakes, but define, if the person doesn't know reality, I'm not as able to help them. And so my G is first in this way. I want to galvanize them. I want to encourage them to the right thing, but what I do is I've got to see the alignment to do it. We got to be talking about the same thing, or I don't know how to move forward. Wonder, tenacity. This is Mike. And one other person in here. Yeah. 3 of you. That's right. The common pairings of wonder, tenacity, he only gives these, I think there's 16 of them. So there's 16 to 20 of these. And then of every combination of how 6 things can be paired. So somebody can do that math real fast. Tom, you got that. And but the order kind of matters. I decided and saw in the way I had done things in my life that while galvanizing was first, and that was the thing with chief joy, I needed to find reality to do it with somebody. Mike and I were doing this, and he is this thorough, practical, and careful contributor, unique combination of reliability and depth. Okay, they all agree that defines you. But 2 of you, I think you're WT in order, and so are you, and you're TW. And we were looking at something, and how does he apply this to a job? So you 2 might need big stuff to finish, and then you'll go, because it's big, I'm going to finish it. My wife's that way in IT. If we have any IT, she's got to see. Will Walker's that way. He's a big thing, and then he's going to finish it. But Mike was saying, no, I need work to do, but it needs to be meaningful work. I'll burn out and not have joy if it's not towards something meaningful. So I'm into the process, I'm into the doing, but I'm moving it towards something meaningful. See the difference? I got to be working on something big, and then I get so big and I'm encouraged that I finish it. Oh, I gotta be. I need work to do, and I need it to be towards something meaningful. You see how that might discern your why? Okay. We have a bunch of these in here. Enablement galvanizers. I'm just learning this. We'll do a full debrief on this time. So you see what people need, and then you're able to galvanize them toward it. You see, you like to galvanize people from Young Life to Deloitte to the way you help teach this lesson. You like to galvanize people, and I do it toward what they need. This is what they need. I'm going to do it toward it. See how that works? There's a galvanizing tenacity, at least one. I think it's Walker, actually. Wonder and invention, we have a couple of these. Think, and y'all both in this order, I think. Wonder, what are the possibilities? Now invent solutions. So we're going to keep going. Enablement tenacity. Who's that? Who knows that they're that? Wade is one. This is the most that there are out there. So a lot of salespeople are enablement tenacity. What do they need? I'll get it for them. Wonder galvanizing. Who's that? Hurston, Chris. That's what Steve Jobs is. And I think y'all are all in this order. Wonder what's possible, wonder what's possible. Now let's get people to do it. Oh, I can sing. Oh, these people need help in this way. I can get this done. I'm burdened by the needs of the world, and I'm burdened by and I see possibilities, and now I want to encourage, you want everybody to join, don't you? You've also invited a bunch of people here. And we will do a full debrief if anybody wants to do this on there, but I'm just wanting you to call out your gifts. Ed is enablement tenacity. You see this person needs something, and you're willing to invent solutions to do it. That's what you are. You see people's needs, yes? Yeah. Boy, if that guy just had this, he'd be better off. I used to live next door to Ed. Many yard conversations. He's really telling me what I need, but he was saying, I got a guy in my life that kind of needs this. And here's what I'm recommending for that guy. Huh, I need that. Okay, but he sees it and does it. And that's his clever plan to get me to get it. See, he can invent a solution. Wonder enablement. Greg? Henry. Real estate guys. Big wonder. Big buildings. You're not going to believe the space I'm going to put you in. It's going to change your whole business. But I'm going to help get you this thing. If you think back to being a kid, you thought big things, and then you saw the needs of people. I can kind of remember some of that at 16, 17, 18. This is what this guy needs. Let's get it for him. What are some of your most, now I'm moving to Form 2, and I'm going to give you just a clue for these because we're going to get all the way to 7 and finish your why. This is a rush lesson, but this is really a lot. I'm giving you an assignment that's going to bless you like crazy. So the biggest learning and doing of this one will be outside of this session.
Is wisdom not found among the aged? Does not long life bring understanding?
It's your experience that shapes you and gives you wisdom. That's why you want to be around some people with a little more gray hair. It's experience. So I'd go to, hey, I'm going down this path. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Oh, let me tell you what, I've been to that path 5 times. What's a significant part of your story? One person. So we got a little bit of experience now, your story. Who's gotten good at telling their story, even in short ways in their job? You see how the wonder galvanizer is going to keep answering the question. He's wondering big things. These are kind of big questions. These aren't small questions. And you got to spend a lot of time with it. We're not fixing this today, but you have a form and a method of doing this on the site, okay? And then he's willing to, he's not going to let us be silent for a minute. He's going to keep answering. All right, good. He's playing it out.
We will not hide them from their descendants. One more time. We will not hide them from their descendants. We will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord, His power, and the wonders He has done.
How did you get to Memphis, Greg? Man, God moved you here. I wonder how it happened. I wondered part of this part of the story. It affected me. It was traumatic. It was incredible. But God brought you through it. He brought you here.
Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah?
When you know you're his, you're not going to hide your story. She came up there in the middle of the day when nobody would ever get water, with complete shame, no identity, and first he confirmed her. He said, you matter. You pour me a drink, oh, you're not supposed to talk to me. You'll be disqualified for worship. Will you pour me a drink? You matter. He moved in, talked to her, started explaining to her a few things, and then he mentioned her story. He didn't move in with like, do you know, not so good to have had 5 husbands and be living with somebody. No, he let her know she mattered. Then he said, I know a lot about you. Then she went and told everybody, same day conversion. Let me tell you, a man that told me everything I ever did. Well, you've done a lot, sister. There's some of those hypocrites were thinking, but he told me, and you need to meet him. So your story is of great use to you and works great use to you in real estate. Let me tell you about this guy who got this deal and got way too much space in a building he loved and it didn't work out for him. Or let me tell you about somebody who didn't get enough. And they were really sorry. Let me tell you about how I got to Memphis. Who has a quote, verse, or life lesson that inspire you? Who knows it so well they want to say it? Chris does it, somebody else. Don't go by appearances. Everybody's moving this way. It opens up another verse too. Don't be conformed by the patterns of the world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind. It says the way everybody else is doing it, that doesn't mean I have to do it that way. That same guy, God didn't look at his appearance, but looked at his heart. When Saul tried to give him all that armor, he said, I can't go with these. I can't even walk in these. I don't know if they said that part. That's a little, but I can't. This isn't the way I'm going to do it. I'm not going to stand out there and fight like this with this guy. I tell you what, I've killed a bear. I've killed a lion. They're a lot faster than this dude, a lot bigger claws. I'm going to go with these. God has shown me how he uses me. He's shown me my gifts. I can fire up a rock. And he didn't know what miles per hour were, but he knew it went fast. He said, I'm going to go this way. I don't have to do it the way everybody else is doing it. Everybody else does it this way. Everybody else kind of fudges on this one thing in real estate. I don't do it that way. I go this way. Everybody else saw a military battle in front of them, and David saw a spiritual battle. Thanks for bringing that up. It's really important. But everybody's going to do that. It's on your form, okay?
Hold on to instruction. Do not let it go. Guard it well, for it is your life.
Hold on to these little things that hit you. The define reality and offer hope, I heard in a sermon 15 years ago before Working Genius, and Napoleon's the one who said it. Leaders define reality and offer hope before Jesus. But Jesus did it perfectly, the pastor said. I said, I had 3 favorite definitions of leadership. I wiped them all out and said, that's the one I like. Define reality, offer hope. That's what I'm supposed to do when I go to work tomorrow. I'm supposed to define reality and offer hope. But I didn't know it's because of the way I was made to discern and then galvanize. You see how it fits? Okay, then this will be just on the form. We're running out of time. So consider the people you've got the most accomplished with, too. Okay? And the friends you get a lot done with, as iron sharpens iron, as unreliable friends no good, but where you've gotten things done, and God is saying, so work with those people. He's not saying don't work with the others or bless them. He's saying consider where I need to partner up. Okay, what types of work gives you the most joy and satisfaction? One more piece of homework. Consider how when you drive home at night, the next 2 weeks. That was a good day or a bad day. What was good about it? What was I doing? What were others doing? Or a period of, who wishes they could go back to 10 years ago? What was going on there? What were the factors in that work that was satisfying or that gave joy? Consider that, and that's on your form too. But that's a lot of self-reflection. Now, the one who has fashioned us for this very purpose is God, who has given us the Spirit as a deposit guaranteeing what is to come. He has put this in place. He has made you for such a time as this. He's made you for today.
Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the ends of the earth, everyone who is called by my name, whom I created for my glory, whom I formed and made. It is true, you are my witnesses, declares the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, so that you may know and believe me and understand that I am He. Before me no God was formed, nor will there be one after me.
Who's memorized that last part? You're a witness. You've been formed and made by God for such a time as this. And I'm totally positive of this. If you deploy your gifts well today, He'll you'll see even more what you're supposed to do next. That's what Joseph did in prison. He didn't want to, he did the right thing, and it turned out terrible for him for a little while. But God used it and formed him. He used his gift so well, he eventually told dreams. People trusted him so well, he was loving on people, enabling people. I imagine he's W.E. I don't know. Wonders big things, and then he cares about people. So, turn to the last page. Your why, Simon's why, he made this up. He said, everybody's been this way the whole time. To blank, so that blank. And just his is to inspire people to do things that inspire them, so that together we can change the world. I don't know his working genius. I'm about to write Pat and Simon a co-email and say these things work together. But he's definitely a galvanizer. There's no doubt about it. And is he a tenacity, or does he have something there? I'm not sure. Maybe an enabler. Maybe he's GE, like some of you. Might be. To inspire people to do things that inspire them. See, it's on them that they're encouraged. I want them to be encouraged. I see that people need encouragement, and I'm going to keep going. Together we can change the world. You see how working genius fits in that? Mine, I told you, discernment and galvanizing. To blank, so that. To help people define reality so that they will have hope in Jesus that overflows to others through their life and work. Did a earnings conference call at First Tennessee one time, and the analyst said back, I wasn't speaking, by the way, but I was on it with them, and they said, and the CEO said, we hope this, and somebody wrote back, hope is not a strategy. It was a comment. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is a person. That's Paul David Tripp. Hope is a person. In him I have hope. In him I have joy. In him, he's done it all. Look at how you got here. He got you here. So define reality, and reality is not always negative. That's something I had to learn. If we just show them what's wrong, they'll need us. I got to show them what's wrong and what's right. And you're consulting, that's what you do. Here are the pain points, here are the glory points. Wrong and right. That's showing them here's where you are. Now there's hope about where you can go. That's mine. I really get fired up about it. People need this. That's why we're doing it. So your why. To what? So put your working geniuses in there in order as placeholders. To help people would be to help people and invent solutions to help people so that they can live renewed lives. That's free. So same thing, wonder enable. I wonder what's possible to enable people to have a better work and business life. Because space is better, and work's going better, other things go better. You can make it as close to, but it's for all your life. Remember that part, okay? To, from. All right, watch this video, and everybody has this homework, and you might do the whole thing with them, okay?
Well, I can tell you a fun way. Some of you may know about it. It's called the Friends exercise, which is really fun, which is go to a friend who you love and who loves you. The kind of friend that if you called them at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know they would take your call. And if they called you, you would absolutely be there for them. Do not do this with a sibling. Do not do this with a parent. And do not do this with a spouse. It doesn't work. Because they think they know you. No, go to a friend and who you love and ask them this very simple question. Why are we friends? And they're going to look at you like you're crazy because you're asking them to put into words a feeling. And the part of the brain that controls our emotions doesn't control language, so we struggle. And ironically, you actually stop asking the question why, because the question why elicits emotional responses, and you convert to a rational question. Come on, you'll say, what specifically is it about me that I know that you would be there for me no matter what? And they will struggle. And they will hem and haw, and they go, I don't know, and they'll start describing you. You're trustworthy, you're funny, you're always there for me, and you have to play devil's advocate. And you go, great, that's the definition of a friend. What specifically is it about me that I know you'd be there for me no matter what? And they're going to go through a few rounds of this. You cannot help them, you cannot let anybody else help them, you have to let them go through the stress. And eventually, after a bunch of rounds, they will give up, and they will stop describing you, and they will start talking about themselves. And my friends said to me, Simon, I don't know. All I know is I don't even have to talk to you. I can just sit in a room with you and I feel inspired. And I got goosebumps. In fact, I'm getting them right now. And that's because they put into words something that is deep inside of me, and you're there when you have the emotional response to what they're describing about themselves. You will well up, you will have goosebumps, something will happen. And if you do this with multiple friends, you will get similar, if not the exact same answer, because the thing you give to the world, your why, is the reason they love you. It's the thing they want in their life that fills that missing gap that they don't have, which is why we're not friends with everyone. So it's a wonderful, wonderful way to find your why.
Oh, yeah. What do you need to ask him to do it? To find your why. So you write your working geniuses down. Those you don't have them, I'll help you with it. But what do you ask him?
Why are we friends?
Why are we friends? And then that's the last why you ask. Because what's somebody going to say? Because you'd be there for me in the middle of the night? That friend who called me last night, he needs somebody to be there for him. So, and I've always, all I ever said about him is he would be there for me. So he'd be there for me, but that's what a friend is. Trustworthy, true, kind. So then ironically, you stop asking why and you ask what? He's going to get it done. Now that described a little tenacity, but he also convinces you with that G that he's going to do it. And see, some of us WGs do say, we say we'll do it, and that then, what you've done there is you've had the genius that frustrates you, and may be T. You've put it to work for your G, because I'm not going to ungalvanize Tom, because my word is my bond, and you don't just galvanize people with words. Again, you can do it positively and negatively. Steve Jobs, WG, he can galvanize people positively, or he can manipulate people. But you really do it by your actions. And so what you're saying, he galvanizes you so well that you can trust him. You see how it still fits a little bit. Anybody want to say anything about anybody else?
I like being friends with Henry because he's always got a lot of enthusiasm for getting people together and having deep conversations.
Yeah. And here, wonder enablement. I wonder, this is cool, and I'm learning stuff I hadn't learned. I want some more people to come, and it'd be good for them. That's kind of what you told me after these sessions. You said, I know this would be good for this other person. I got somebody in mind. Hadn't you said that a few times? And he's brought 2 or 3 of you. You're enabling them. Who's good who's okay if your friend talks about you that way? Hey, I got something for him. I got something for my friend. I think he really needs it. I am. Well, I wish more people would talk about me that way. And then do it. See how it fits? So who's going to go do this assignment? Who's committed? Talk to a friend. You don't have somebody to talk to? You can talk to me. If you hadn't taken or debriefed the Working Genius, let me know. And you need to know the full thing. We covered it real fast. And next week we're going to cover the needs of others, how we put these things toward them. Okay, so if you finish your full why, I'll keep using Working Genius about how you do it. And you will speak 30 of the minutes next week, or 5 minutes intro. You'll speak 25 of the minutes next week. So let's make it real involved. And how to solve for the needs of others with the gifts that I have. Okay? All right, let me pray. Lord, you're so good to us. Uniquely made in physical makeup, in mental makeup, in experience, which you've brought us through. You take us to places we had no idea we'd go, and when we're in your spirit, we really go places we have no idea we'd go. So thank you for that, and thank you for the way you've equipped us. A Working Genius is not the full definition of any person in here, but Lord, help us to see it for what it is, and it is something we can name and claim and let people know that this is how we're here to serve them and the organizations we work for. Help us to know our why. First, called by you to love and serve others, to love love us as you have loved us. And then help us to understand at a deeper level how you made us to do it. In your name, Jesus. Amen.